Okay, let's dive right into what is honestly one of the most stressful things to wake up to. Welcome to this explainer where we're going to break down exactly why your toilet is leaking and, more importantly, how to fix it. If you're a homeowner here in San Diego and you've just stepped barefoot into a puddle in your bathroom, yeah, you know that instant sinking feeling, but don't panic. Today, we are cutting straight through the noise to give you a clear, specific, no fluff guide on exactly what's happening and how to get it fully resolved. So, first things first, what is actually causing that mysterious puddle on your bathroom floor? Look, you're not here for guesses. You need a direct answer so you can take the right action right now. The water pooling around your toilet base isn't magic, and honestly, it's rarely a cracked pipe buried deep inside your wall. It usually comes down to just a few very specific mechanical failures. Let's look at the usual suspects. You could be dealing with a cracked closet flange, a dripping supply line, or maybe even tank condensation, which is a super common false alarm. But I want to draw your attention right to the top of the list. A failed wax ring is by far the most common cause. And here's the secret nobody tells you. A wax ring almost never just fails on its own. It fails because of the second bullet point right there, a rocking toilet. If your toilet rocks even slightly when you sit down, that constant everyday motion is literally breaking the wax seal over time.
Let's jump into Section 1, How to Diagnose the Leak.
Okay, before you start ripping up your nice bathroom tile or calling in the cavalry, think of this as your quick, at-home plumbing detective work. Step 1, dry the floor completely around the base with a towel, reaching as far under the porcelain as you possibly can. Step 2, do the flush test. Literally just flush it and watch closely. Step 3 is the dye test. Put a few drops of food coloring into the tank and wait about 15 minutes without flushing. If colored water shows up at the base, you've got a tank-to-bowl connection issue. And finally, step 4, the rock test. Gently grab the toilet bowl near the top and rock it side to side. Any movement at all means it's not secured, and that wobble is very likely what broke your seal.
You know, the timing of the water basically tells the whole story here. If you dry the floor and the water only reappears after someone flushes, the leak is almost certainly the wax ring or the flange seal. Why? Because that's the only time water under pressure actually moves through that connection. But if you have constant water just sitting there, even when nobody's using the bathroom, you should definitely be looking at the supply line, the shutoff valve, or a simple sweating tank caused by our San Diego coastal humidity.
But hey, your eyes aren't your only tools here. Pay attention to the smell. If the water is clean and odorless, it's a good bet it's just condensation or a supply line leak. But if you smell sewer gas, that means the seal is absolutely broken. Waste or gas is actively escaping into your bathroom, and that is a massive red flag that this needs immediate attention.
Moving right along to Section 2, the wax ring fix. Look, a quick caulk job is absolutely not going to save you here. Squeezing some fresh silicone around the base of the porcelain is literally like putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm. To understand the real fix, we have to understand the part itself. A wax ring is exactly what it sounds like, a donut-shaped seal made of wax, or sometimes a modern rubber alternative. It sits hidden right between the base of your toilet and the closet flange in the floor. Its entire job is to seal that drain pipe connection, making sure water and waste flow straight down rather than across your bathroom floor.
So, how do we actually fix this? First off, you gotta shut off the water and completely drain the tank and the bowl. Then, you physically pull the toilet straight up and off the flange. Step 3 is vital. You must scrape off the old wax completely and inspect the flange underneath for any cracks or corrosion. Step 4, set the new ring and reset the toilet, making sure to tighten the bolts evenly so you don't crack the porcelain. And step 5, this is a massive pro tip, so keep this in mind. When you recaulk the base, deliberately leave a small gap at the very back. That way, if a leak ever happens again, the water will run out where you can clearly see it, rather than hiding under the seal and quietly rotting your subfloor.
All right, let's talk numbers. Section 3, San Diego repair costs. Nobody likes surprise plumbing bills, right? So let's break down the typical rates you're going to see right here in San Diego. Depending on the damage, a professional toilet reset usually runs between $150 and $250 if the flange is in good shape and it's just the wax ring. If you need a wax ring plus new closet bolts and caulk, expect something in the $200 to $350 range. Now, if the flange itself needs repair or replacement, that bumps up to the $350 to $600 mark. And if you've let the leak sit and the subfloor took water damage, you are looking at adding anywhere from $300 to well over $1,000 to fix the actual floor beneath it.
Now, you might be sitting there thinking, hey, a wax ring is only $3 at the hardware store. I'll just do this myself.
But remember this, what you're paying a professional plumber for is doing it once, correctly, without cracking the porcelain, missing a cracked flange, or leaving the toilet slightly rocking again. It is a super common DIY repair for sure, but over-tightening those bolts and cracking your toilet bowl turns a cheap fix into a very expensive headache in literally seconds.
Which brings us to Section 4, Local Risks, Slabs and Flanges.
Our specific local architecture actually makes fixing this leak incredibly critical. Take a look at these hyper-local risks. Lots of San Diego homes sit right on concrete slab foundations. When water leaks under a toilet on a slab, it doesn't just drain away safely. It gets trapped and wicks sideways right under your tile or vinyl. Plus, older homes in inland communities like El Cajon or La Mesa often have aging cast iron closet flanges that crack and corrode, which means a brand new wax ring isn't going to hold a thing if the flange itself is destroyed. We also have that coastal humidity causing those condensation false alarms we talked about earlier. And finally, if your leaking toilet is on a second floor, that base leak is eventually going to show up as a giant brown stain or worse, a gaping hole in the ceiling below. Listen, if you take away absolutely nothing else from this explainer, let it be this. Do not ignore a rocking toilet. It is the #1 reason your wax ring failed in the first place. Resetting a toilet or putting a new wax ring down without fixing that underlying wobble just guarantees you will be dealing with this exact same puddle of water in a few short months.
So, if you're ready to fix this for good and protect your floors, the 24/7 pros at Plumbing Pro San Diego are standing by at 858-925-5546 to get everything reset correctly. But before you throw yet another towel on the bathroom floor, ask yourself this. If the water you can plainly see is this annoying, what on earth is the water you can't see silently doing to the foundation of your home right now?